Right now, as you sit there watching this, there is a rogue organ inside your body that no surgeon installed and no doctor warned you about. It has its own blood supply, it has its own hormonal agenda, and every single second it is pumping inflammatory poison directly into your bloodstream, making you fatter, sicker, and biologically older with every heartbeat. That organ is your visceral fat, and what I'm about to reveal will change how you see your own body forever. Forget everything you've been told about belly fat being a cosmetic problem. That's the biggest lie mainstream medicine ever sold you. A landmark study published in the journal Nature Reviews Endocrinology confirmed what elite researchers have known for over a decade. Visceral fat is not storage. It is a fully functioning endocrine organ. Let that sink in. It behaves like a gland. It sends chemical signals. It manufactures hormones. And here's the part that should terrify you. Its agenda is not your agenda. Think of it like this. Imagine a hostile foreign embassy operating inside your body's borders. It has diplomatic immunity, your immune system can't touch it, it has its own infrastructure, its own communication network, and it is actively working to destabilize your entire biological government from the inside out. That is not a metaphor. That is what the science actually shows. Here's how the sabotage works. Your visceral fat is continuously releasing inflammatory cytokines, molecules like interleukin-6 and tumor necrosis factor alpha. These are the same molecules your body produces during a severe infection. A groundbreaking paper from Harvard Medical School demonstrated that people with high levels of visceral fat are walking around in a state of chronic low-grade inflammation identical to someone fighting a disease. Your body thinks it's under attack 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and the consequences are catastrophic. But it gets worse, and most people have no idea this next part is even happening. When those inflammatory cytokines flood your system, they don't just cause damage randomly. They have specific targets. They jam your insulin receptors, like shoving gum into a lock so the key can't turn anymore. Suddenly, your cells can't absorb glucose properly. Your pancreas panics and pumps out more insulin, and what does insulin do when it's elevated? It locks the doors on your fat cells and throws away the key. You literally cannot burn fat while this cycle is running. Your body is not broken. It is following orders being issued by that rogue organ wrapped around your liver and intestines. Now, here's the part that nobody explains, and this is why most diet advice fails catastrophically for people over 35. Visceral fat doesn't just respond to calories, it responds to cortisol. A Nobel Prize-winning discovery in stress physiology showed that cortisol, your primary stress hormone, has a preferential binding affinity for visceral fat receptors. Translation: when you're stressed, your body doesn't just store fat, it specifically deposits fat in the most dangerous location possible, deep inside your abdominal cavity, feeding that hostile embassy, making it larger, more powerful, and more inflammatory. So every time you white-knuckle through a calorie deficit while stressed out of your mind, you're actually accelerating the problem. You're shrinking subcutaneous fat, the harmless stuff under your skin, while your visceral fat sits there untouched, growing its infrastructure, expanding its blood supply, and increasing its hormonal output. You're winning the wrong war. This is why the eat less, move more crowd has failed you. They don't understand what they're fighting. They're treating a rogue endocrine organ like a simple math equation, and your biology is laughing at them. So what actually dismantles this hostile embassy? The research points to 3 specific biological levers that visceral fat cannot resist. First, intermittent fasting. A landmark clinical trial at the University of Illinois showed that time-restricted eating preferentially targets visceral fat over subcutaneous fat. Your body goes after the dangerous stuff first when insulin drops low enough for long enough. Second, high-intensity interval training. Not chronic cardio, which actually raises cortisol and feeds the problem, but short, explosive bursts that trigger growth hormone and activate visceral fat mobilization pathways that steady-state exercise cannot touch. Third, and this one shocked even the researchers, cold exposure. A groundbreaking study in the Journal of Clinical Endocrinology found that deliberate cold stress activates brown adipose tissue, which directly combusts visceral fat for heat production, bypassing the normal metabolic bottlenecks entirely. Your visceral fat has been running the show for years, maybe decades. It has been issuing orders to your hormones, sabotaging your insulin sensitivity, accelerating your aging, and making you feel like your body is working against you, because it literally is. But now you understand the enemy. Now you see the battlefield clearly, and now you have the weapons that actually work. Not calorie counting, not hours on a treadmill, but targeted biological strategies that dismantle this rogue organ at the hormonal level. If this just rewired how you think about your own body, smash that like button hard enough your phone feels it. Subscribe right now, because I am exposing the biological truths that mainstream fitness will never tell you. Share this with someone who is still fighting belly fat with willpower alone. They need to know what's actually happening inside them. Your body was never broken. It was hijacked, and today you just started taking it back.